Good morning, everyone, and happy Wednesday. Thanks for joining me for News 5 Now at 8:05. I'm Shimani Baker. It is October 1st. How is everyone feeling this morning? I will say this. It's October 1st, and the year has flown by. It does not feel like it's October, and I mean that literally and physically because have y'all been outside this morning? It is hot. It is hot. And I don't think it's going to be cooling off anytime soon. Nonetheless, we've got a lot to cover this morning. If you didn't know, today is National Coffee with a Cop Day. So if you're in Orange Beach, the Orange Beach Police Department will be having coffee at Cumberland Farms until 10 o'clock this morning. Hang out with them for a little bit and tell them I said, hey. We've got that story and more on News 5 Now. Stick with us.
Brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers, covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Joined us before, you know the drill. We always start off with our big stories this morning. Number 5, the price of a pound of coffee has jumped more than $2.50 compared to this time last year. And President Donald Trump's tariffs are partly to blame. In April, most countries got hit with a 10% tariff, in addition to another hike recently. Brazil, which accounts for 35% of coffee imported into the U.S., now has a 50% tariff. Number 4. Florida leaders approve a proposal to spend more than $84 million to buy 4 acres of land in Okaloosa County. The 4-acre property, located along the south side of the Destin Harbor, would be used to expand Noriego Point Beach Park. Number 3. The Alabama Forestry Commission has issued a statewide fire danger advisory asking people to not burn anything as we deal with dry conditions. If you do burn something, they ask for you to keep an eye on the fire and make sure the flames are fully extinguished before you do. Number 2. Republicans and Democrats are blaming one another after several votes to keep the government funded past midnight failed in the Senate yesterday. Essential federal workers are expected to report to work without pay, while thousands are furloughed. And that shutdown will impact several industries across Alabama, including agriculture and healthcare. Commissioner of Agriculture and Industries Rick Pate says USDA funding is at stake for Alabama's meat inspection and pesticide programs. However, he says in the short term, there are reserves to keep food safety programs going. But Carol Gunlock with Alabama Rise says tax credits through the Affordable Care Act could expire at the end of the year. And number 1 for us this morning, Mobile police are increasing patrols around a popular haunted house. Over the next few weeks, you can expect to see more officers around St. Francis Street, where the Sweet Dreams haunted attraction is located. Department leaders say a large number of teens have been gathering outside of the venue since it opened. They say this is causing safety issues for drivers in the area. Let's move things over to our question of the day. And today that question is, McDonald's is bringing back its Monopoly game after 10 years. Will you play? I will say this. I remember this as a kid. Now, I don't believe I was old enough to really get into playing, but I remember this. People were getting free food every other day from playing Monopoly. Let's see what people are saying in the comments. Someone says, last time I ate at McDonald's was Old Shell Road in June 1984. So, no. Somebody says, as long as the execs aren't stealing the game this time, then yeah. Ashley says, isn't it digital? Kevin says, yay, I can still collect the same stickers again. Nancy says, not me, thank you. Judy says, since I never eat there, I guess not. You know, I don't really eat at McDonald's these days either, so I don't know if I will play. I will say I used to be addicted to French fries from McDonald's and the Frappuccinos, but I have since turned my life around, so I don't know if I'll be playing. Richard says, no, they cheated before. All right. Well, we want to hear from you. Somebody else says it was rigged then, it'll be rigged now. If you are playing, we want to hear from you because I'm interested to know. And also, are people still going to McDonald's? Is that a thing? I will say Bill Riles gets his hash browns from there every day. Don't tell him I told you. Our poll of the day is, would you watch movies and TV shows with AI actors? Let's see what y'all are saying. One person says yes. 96 people say no. And 2 people say no opinion. I guess it would depend. I feel like if I can tell that they are AI actors, then I'm immediately turning off the TV. Immediately. Because what's the point, right? Like, I want an actor who's going to actually, like, feel the role and make me believe that they're, doing the real thing and they're all in. And so if an AI actor can't do that, I don't want to see it. Now, on the flip side, if we have an AI actor and you can't tell, then what's the big deal? I guess we'll just have to see. What are people in the comments saying? Lillian says, otherwise known as cartoons. Kathy says, I say replace the people that read the news first. Just read a teleprompter anyway. Oh, Kathy, come on. You'd miss us if we were gone. George says, we have already been watching movies with AI. Most people would not realize if the actors were AI or not. And that's what I'm saying, George. If that's the case, then what's the big deal? Other than the fact that a lot of actors and actresses would be out of a job, which is not cool. But if I couldn't tell, I really wouldn't have an opinion. The issue comes in when I turn the TV on and I'm like, oh, yeah, this isn't a real person. I can't get with that. Let's see. Someone says, I may be wrong, but I believe AI has been used before in movies. Nope. Heck no. Kimberly, I am with you all the way. She says, real actors bring a heart and soul to their roles that AI just can't replicate. I agree with that. Somebody else says, no, heck no, absolutely not. All right. We want to hear from you. If you have not chimed in on those questions and polls of the day, make sure you head to our Facebook page if you haven't already and comment what you think. We'll share some of your responses right here on News 5 Now. Until then, don't forget, we also have News 5 2 more times throughout the day at 12:35 and at 5:35. And so we hope to see you there. And if not, we are on air most of the day. Our next show is at 9 o'clock with Devin Walsh, so tune in for that. Until then, I hope you have a great Wednesday, a great 1st of October, and I will see you back here at the same time tomorrow. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers.
In the courtroom, the judge knows best, and this judge does too. If you've been hurt in a wreck, you need a law firm that knows the system and how it works. I'm attorney David Green. Call or come by anytime. You never need an appointment.